Hi there. Okay, well, I wanted to do this video and to show you how I make the eyelets for the moccasins. This is what they look like when they're finished, and they've got a paracord running through them, and that is to keep the leather from stretching. Okay, as you tighten up on the eyelets with your laces, it tends to stretch the leather, and depending on what type of leather it is, throughout the day you could have to tighten your moccasins up several times because the leather is stretching. So by running a piece of paracord which has the inner threads removed, the thread or the paracord does not stretch. Here's a piece that I've already taken the innards out, and this part here does not stretch, so you don't have to worry about your eyelets stretching once you've got them installed in the moccasins. Okay, so then I've punched some different holes in them. I'll just show you the template. Okay, and so this is what it looks like, and what it is well, I got a punch that does the angle, the ends here, the strap ends, and then the hole for the copper rivet, and then we start here and we go 5/8 and then leave a space of 5 millimeters and then 3/4 of an inch, and then another 5 millimeter space, and then another 5/8, and then it looks like about 7 or 8 millimeters, and then our hole for our rivet, and then another 10 millimeters or so for the end of it. Okay, now what I've done in order to make things go a little quicker for these things, I've bought some knives. Okay, what they are is scraper blade knives for putting in a scraper for taking off your flooring. Okay, and the ones that I've got are called Persona, and in one of these boxes it's a 10 8-inch floor strippers. Okay, and if you need the number, here it is, 61-0032. There's several different manufacturers, and you can get them as low as $10 for 10 blades, and you just do a search and you'll come up with them, I'm sure, when you look. So what I've done, in order to make things go faster for me, I've made the eyelets to be about half the length of one of these blades. And then what I've done, I've taken two blades, I've determined on the width of the eyelet, which is about 3/4 of an inch, and then what I've done is I've cut a piece of wood 3/4 of an inch, and on each side I've glued one of these blades. Then what I did is over the top I've glued another piece on that I can pound on, and this piece is in contact with the blade so that it is pushing the blade through the leather, and it's not just the glue that's holding it. So what I start off doing is I take the leather that you want, and like I said, it is about it works out to about you can do 2 blades out of it, 2 eyelets out of it. So this is it. I start at one end, Okay, and it comes off very easily. Take a knife, and cut the strap at the end. And at the other end. Okay, so we've got our piece. Then take your template and put it at the one end, and I'll just show you how I mark them out. I'm not going to cut them out because you know how to use a hole punch and one of those slot punches. So I take it like this, and then I use one. I got a big needle here. Okay, so I put a hole at the end, another one in the middle, another one at the beginning, and then at the end, at the beginning, at the end, and so on. Okay, so I go all the way to the end and put a mark there. And when I'm doing two, of course, I just move it down and start over, and there you can see that I've got enough for two different eyelets. Okay, now I don't have my hole punch and everything else set up, but I take the hole punch, punch the holes, take an angle punch, and punch the holes according to this. Okay, now once I've got the holes punched in like this, okay, I take my piece of paracord and I weave it through the different holes. Okay, and then, so I don't have to melt the end every single time. Once it's all the way through, I pull the paracord to the end. Okay, and then what I've got is I've got a very long, tapered, pointy scribe. And what I need to do now is to make holes in the paracord. Now I don't want to cut or melt the holes, so what I do, what I've gotten is a piece of wood, and then I use my granite block to get a little height, and I put it on, get some height like that. And then what I've got in the wood is holes drilled all the way through. So take your awl, put it in the middle, and you get it started pushing it through. Make sure that it's centered reasonably well. Then you can put it in one of these holes that's drilled all the way through, and then you can just push it, and that opens up the hole. Okay, now make sure you've got it good and open. Then you can take it take it out, and what you do is I have a wood burning tool. In order to keep it in this location, what you need to do is then take your wood burning tool and go all the way around the hole. And as you melt the polyester or nylon, whatever the paracord's made out of, it will stay open for you. Okay, and then while you're at it, you can cut the end off of the paracord to shorten it up a little bit. Okay, so once you've got that done, you remove it, put your copper rivet through, and what you can do then is take one of these, well, we'll save that for later. I was going to put it on to start with, and I can do that. And that will punch everything down. Okay, and then go to your other end. Make sure you don't pull the paracord so tight that you start to bend the leather. Keep everything reasonably loose and straight. Do the other side. Okay, there it's coming through. Take our piece of wood. Okay, and then we'll take our wood burning tool and burn all those fibers down so they don't open up on us. Oops, okay, and while we're at it, like I did before, we'll cut off the paracord, remove the awl, and then put our copper rivet through the holes. Okay, so now we don't never have to worry about the paracord coming loose or anything like that. Then what I do, I flip it over, take my punch for installing the copper rivets, put it on top, take a hammer, and that flattens everything right out so it doesn't take up a lot of space. And there you have your eyelet that's ready to go. You can finish the edges however suits you, and that's your eyelet. One other thing that I've done. This steel for these blades is a high carbon steel, and it is a very good steel. It's not stainless, so you do get some staining on it, but it holds an edge good and it sharpens up real well. So what I've done is I've made some knife blades. I've cut them in half and made some knife blades out of them. There's one there. There's one there. I haven't got the handles on yet, but I will have. And I've taken a blade here, and I've also got marked out some additional small knives that I'm going to be cutting out. So that's just another thought for these knife blades. So that's it on how to make a leather eyelet, and you can use it, or you can make something that you would prefer, but I found that those are quite good. You can change them to suit your own style, and I think they'll work very good. Thanks for watching.